Ready to journey back in time to uncover the untold stories of the Wild West? Let's explore the legends, the battles, and the lives that shaped America's frontier. Cowboys in Bar in Tascosa, Texas, 1907. In this picture taken in Tascosa, Texas, cowboys can be seen hanging out inside a bar in 1907. This was a typical representation of socializing among people who lived within those parts during those times. Because they were mostly friends or acquaintances, they were dressed casually, which showed how relaxed things used to be back then. Tascosa became one of the main cities for cowboys during the early 20th century, where bars served as meeting points between cattle ranchers and outlaws alike. Henceforth, we have captured what life was like for these individuals through our lens, while they enjoyed themselves at various joints found throughout this vibrant community called Tascosa. Therefore, historical studies have often focused on social life within towns like Tascosa, because it marks an important stage in the development of cowboy culture associated with Old West. I think today's bar club boys of rich are cowboys for modern era. What's your opinion? Dodge City buffalo hides shipment. This photograph depicts buffalo hides being loaded onto wagons for shipment in Dodge City, showcasing just how massive the trade in these animals actually was. Very interesting. The economic value of buffalo hides during this time is demonstrated by the picture. Dodge City became a central point for trading buffalo hides, fueled by the demand for them as well as the growth of railways. The large-scale hunting of bison caused significant damage to both the environment and society. This heritage of dealing in buffalo skins should remind us about what happens when we expand our territories too fast. It has impacts on ecology and culture. People work towards ecological restoration by conserving buffaloes, which also help deal with historical issues. If you are a large animal seller, can you visit this place and share your experience with us? Grand Canyon Walls, 1873. The image shows natural beauty at its best. Walls of the Grand Canyon tower above everything else, dwarfing even large trees growing on their edges. It was taken in 1873 when these geological formations were starting to attract more attention, due travelers having begun exploring region widely enough. In 1873, the Grand Canyon was already a site of awe for explorers and early tourists. Its dramatic geological formations had begun to attract attention and appreciation. The Grand Canyon remains one of the most visited natural wonders in the world. Conservation efforts continue to preserve its beauty and geological significance for future generations. I would love to visit this. Do you have a plan? If yes, then let's go. Kit Carson, Frontier Scout and Guide. Kit Carson appears as a frontiersman, scout and guide, revealing his rough appearance in the implements of his trade. His presence is a reflection of his important contributions in terms of exploration and settlement. Carson was a famous explorer of the American West who worked as a scout and guide. He was an indispensable resource for both settlers and the military, given his vast knowledge of the frontier. Carson's role in exploring and mapping the American West has made him immortal in history literature. His biography is still used by historians and academic researchers. The Long Branch Saloon, Dodge City. That's why we see the Long Branch Saloon located at Dodge City filled with sociable people having some fun. This picture shows why this saloon was an epicenter for entertainment and socializing. The Long Branch Saloon can be called an iconic venue where merriment never ceased, attracting dignitaries to its premises regularly. Thus, it stands out among other saloons that characterize life on the frontier. The long-lasting significance of the Long Branch Saloon extends to representing Old West social life and amusement through historical accounts as well as media depictions, therefore. Jim Courtright, Texas lawman. Jim Courtright is seen standing tall, which portrays him as being very authoritative due to the fact that he served as a Texas law enforcement officer. Through his serious face expression together with dressing styles, one may tell that he played a role in maintaining order during turbulent times. Courtright was known for being sheriff and participant in several fights. Consequently, what happened to him arguably illustrates how tough law enforcement used to be when it comes to Wild West conditions. Thus, Jim Courtright contributes to stories about lawkeeping during that time. Most importantly, his legacy prevails regarding discussions on justice at frontier level or towards policing history, generally speaking. The Oatman family's journey across the desert. The Oatman family is depicted as moving through a desert in a hard way to emphasize that it was a struggle for survival in harsh conditions. This ordeal mirrors what other settlers experienced. The journey of the Oatman family was marked by suffering and tragedy, including Olive's abduction. This narrative indicates the hazards that were linked to traveling and settling in America. However, the story about Oatmans remains one of the most tragic examples of early settlers' lives. It reminds readers how hard life can be on vast, undeveloped territories. George Armstrong Custer, military leader. George Armstrong Custer is seen dressed in his military uniform to show him as an important player during American Indian Wars. His confident posture and clothes denote him as being a capable leader with regard to his tactical approach. Custer provoked conflict with Native Indians, known for aggressive tactics, which ended up in his death at Little Bighorn Battlefield. Thus, he had ups and downs throughout his career. Ongoing issues such as controversies about his military styles also make Custer's heritage unsolvable currently. Therefore, historians are still engaged into extensive discussions regarding U.S. Army past. The Old West mining town of Leadville. This picture depicts Leadville as a busy mining town with its bustling streets and active mines. The photo portrays both economic growth and rough character mining communities had before settled down. Leadville witnessed a major mining boom during the latter half of the 19th century, attracting people from different walks of life who were after wealth. The city's economic growth and development centered around silver mining. This reflects on Leadville being a mining town since there are many historical sites that are preserved and interest in its history is still growing. The legacy of the town's silver rush has been historically and culturally significant. Chief Joseph, Nez Perce leader. This sculpture portrays Chief Joseph as a dignified leader of his people. His face shows resolution and determination. Chief Joseph was famous for trying to lead his tribe through an era of conflict and displacement that was so distressing. He is remembered because of his eloquent speeches and leadership abilities, which made him one of the most important Native American figures in history. The story of Chief Joseph is considered remarkable due to his brave leading for his own people. Thus, he remains a symbol today for courage amid adversity. I think we need this type of leader now, isn't it? The California Gold Rush of 1849. It depicts gold miners working feverishly in search of riches during the California Gold Rush, capturing these events' excitement as well as frenzy. This picture emphasizes just how far-reaching this movement went. In 1849, thousands flocked to California looking for gold, and it resulted into significant demographic changes in addition to economic ones. It stands out as a defining moment in American history. The California Gold Rush shaped the development of the American West over time. One can see it through fast-growing cities and long-term migration patterns. Tombstone's historic courthouse. The drawing represents Tombstone's courthouse when it was first built, showing how architectural design mattered then in this well-known frontier town. Here we see what a center court looked like, where justice reigned along with community values. Tombstone had famously lawless days that included its courthouse, witnessing such events like gunfight at OK Corral. The court was a focal point for town governance and legal process. The courthouse's existence is an emblem of Tombstone's historical and cultural heritage. It is preserved as a testament to the legal and social history of the Old West. Western Railroad construction history. The picture illustrates workers building railroads across the West. It gives an idea about just how big and complicated this work was. The illustration demonstrates the important role played by railways in unifying Western America. Construction of railroads helped move people and goods, thus making it a critical element in moving westward expansion. It also contributed to economic development of American West. Railways therefore reshaped America's geography and economics for good, hence their place in modern transport infrastructure is still very much intact with significant historical importance. Can you imagine the chaos before peace reigned in Dodge City? Well-known Dodge City Peace Commission. This photograph shows the Dodge City Peace Commission meeting formally to handle rampant crime issues and bring peace to town. This visual captured the seriousness bestowed upon its members. To counteract such brutality, Dodge City Peace Commission was formed. It represented concerted efforts towards achieving orderliness and safety within the community. Thus, the stabilization process took place when it transformed into downtown area from Wild West period through Peace Commission hard efforts. The The town's legacy can be traced back from there ever since till now. Fort Laramie, Military Outpost, Wyoming. Fort Laramie is presented here as one military outpost used for strategic protection and control over wildlands. This photograph shows the fort's structure and its place in regional life. The main military outpost established to protect travelers on their way and negotiate with the Indians was Fort Laramie. It played a vital part in the settlement and development of the American West. To keep its historical importance, Fort Laramie is a historic site today. It shows how this city was ruled during the frontier time. This fact is taught and discussed even now. What stories do these walls hold from a time of untamed lands? Indian Agent Trading Post, New Mexico. A picture of an Indian agent's trading post in New Mexico, which reflects both commercial and cultural contact between settlers and indigenous people, can be found here. This image reflects trade and goods swapping. Trading posts played an important role for settlers to trade goods with Native Americans. These posts also contributed to cultural exchange among peoples that inhabited frontiers at that moment in history. Thus, legacy of such posts uncovers some complicated sides of interactions between European colonists, settlers, and native tribes. Today, there are many ways through which these acts can still remain acknowledged through humanity efforts. What made these men legends in both war and politics? The Rough Riders, Theodore Roosevelt's regiment. The Rough Riders are shown in their military uniforms, depicting them as Theodore Roosevelt's volunteer cavalry regiment during the Spanish-American War. The photo captures their different outfits and friendship. Under the command of Theodore Roosevelt, the Rough Riders were a cavalry regiment during the Spanish-American War. Their participation in major battles contributed to their legendary status. Roosevelt built his political career on legacy of Rough Riders with whom he served during Spanish-American Wars. Their story remains cherished for its influence on American military history and also Roosevelt's presidency. The historic San Francisco earthquake of 1906. The aftermath of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake is depicted, showing extensive damage and destruction caused by it. The image portrays scale of disaster and its effect on city. One of the most destructive natural disasters in America was 1906 earthquake at San Francisco that led to massive destructions and deaths. That marked beginning points for massive rebuilding process as well as changes in city planning. Earthquake preparedness practice has been influenced by earthquake, while some parts have been lost as a result to this event due to urbanization. It still remains one important aspect within SF history, reminding about resilience after experiencing natural disasters. The Indian Removal Act of 1830. A scene depicting enforcement of Indian Removal Act, 1830, highlights forced resettlement from ancestral lands experienced by native tribesmen across U.S. country depicted above. The image reveals how harsh realities affect American Indians by policy itself. Treaty-enforced removal, often called trail tiers, took place because many Native Americans of different tribes had to move, leading to a loss of lives and identity. This act was an integral part of America's policy on territorial expansion. In American history, the Indian Removal Act is a grim reminiscence with ongoing efforts by acknowledging and addressing its ramifications on Native American communities. Historical reflections and reparations continue to be important. How fast could a letter travel across the Wild West? The historic Pony Express Station. The Pony Express Station is depicted as a bustling hub of activity, showcasing its role in the delivery of mail across the American West. The image emphasizes how important this early communication system was. Pony Express delivered letters fast across western United States. It operated for just a short time, but played an essential role in improving communication during frontier times. The Pony Express stands as testimony to pioneering and innovativeness in communication. Its legacy is still celebrated through historical accounts as well as cultural references. Do subscribe, like, share this video. Thank you for watching and giving us your precious time. See you in the next video. Goodbye.